Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I shall purify all the sins of weebdom through hellfire.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Funny that you mentioned purifying, Rem.
Oh yeah?
Because there's been a bit of an anomaly lately in the anime-verse.
Okay.
To put it simply, Rem, the anime community has universally agreed on something.
Oh shit. All right. That's always a little bit worrying because where there is consensus in weebdom,
You're usually the voice of countering, yeah.
I show up as an outlier.
Yes, but genuinely, this is the most I've seen an anime community agree in a long time.
Oh, are they agreeing that it's good?
Well, that's the thing, Rem. Everybody seems to be agreeing that this is the best anime of the season and possibly of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, I think I've seen. Is it the one I've seen the memes of?
Oh, yes.
There's endless memes.
Oh, yes.
There's endless memes of a little girl
Mhm.
and vaguely her parents, but mostly just the little girl, if I'm being honest.
That is correct. And Rem, there are now 5 episodes of this anime out, and I can't hold back any longer. We need to talk about it. We gotta jump on the hype train, because that's how we're gonna get the views, baby.
All right, it's very rare, but sometimes the hype train, it's so prominent that I can't even escape it from my view, right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to tell you everything I know about this. First, it's Spy something?
Spy Family. Or
Spy
Or
Family.
Spy X Family. You can pronounce the X or you cannot. It's up to you.
I don't like that, but I'll give it a slide. I'll let that slide. So, Spy Family, and it's the parents are different kinds of spies. They're not like the same kind or something. And I think the daughter has ability.
Well, she's not disabled, if that's what you're asking.
No, I think she's like magic or psychic or something down that vein. And also the internet is really in love with the little girl. So much.
In a good, wholesome way.
Yeah, like they're nonstop memes of that little girl. And I've not like consumed any of the memes. I've not even like read any of them, but I've seen her face on all of them.
Like, Rem, this should prove to you how powerful, like, this particular anime is, like, in the sphere. The fact that you are very close to being, like, 100% correct.
But I will note, it happens for maybe one anime per season, maybe one anime for every 2 seasons.
Right.
Right. And it also happened last season.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
as we can tell by one of our most controversial episodes of all time.
Oh, yeah. We're still getting emails about that.
People are pissed.
Yeah, people are siding with Jordan. People are against Remington. People are against Jordan. Like,
Mostly just against me.
mostly just against you, yeah. Like, it is one of our most controversial episodes, but I'm here to tell you right now, all of your, like, hesitation with Dress Up Darling, none of that exists in this one. None of it.
Okay. So it's not a shitty rom-com.
No.
Good.
No. It's got some rom-com elements, but, like, that is literally, like, take this and just kind of, like, put it in the back of your mind for now, and just focus on
What
it.
genre is Spy Family?
You would call this probably, I would call it an action comedy most. But
Okay.
it's a with like with strong slice of life elements.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. But allow me to actually explain to you what it's about, because quite frankly, Rem, it's a great fucking premise, and it is a great manga as well. I actually knew about the manga way before the anime got announced, like back when it started. I think it was a Mother's Basement video I watched a few years back that he was ranting about how good this manga was. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a read. I read it. He was right. Very good manga. Very good. And ever since then, I've been reading it every other week because it's a bi-weekly manga. Which you'll recall, that's one of those things that you have issues with the manga industry.
Yeah, so even hearing like bi-weekly is a little bit better than weekly.
Yeah.
So I'll take.
And they take regular breaks too.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, no, there's only like 68 chapters out right now, and it started like 2018, I think.
Oh man, the art of taking your fucking time so you can tell a good story.
Yeah, and it has been fantastic all the way through. Like, I've had very few issues with it, but that tells you nothing about it. What you need to know is the premise, and the premise is just so good. All right, so the premise is this. It is in a late 60s, early 70s style setting, like the peak of like the classic spy film era, right? Cold War stuff.
Okay.
And this is in kind of like a different version of Cold War Europe. There are two countries. There is Ostania and Westalis. You can guess which direction Westalis is in.
You got a hunch.
Yeah, pretty good hunch. And these countries are like teetering on the balance of all-out war. We are like heavily, heavily deep into a Cold War. And Westalis has one of the most talented espionage fellas, the most talented spies in the world. And he's so talented that people know his code name, like, throughout, like, the underground, as it were.
He's the equivalent of like a 007, where it's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. He goes by codename Twilight. And there are some jokes there. I will request you don't make them.
I'll be honest. I was just debating whether to reference Stephanie Meyer or to just simply add Sparkle at the end.
Yeah, and I saw those jokes, and I figured, I'm just gonna head them off at the pass. Because I know we're not exactly the highest brow comedy podcast, but I'd like to at least, give the benefit of the doubt every once in a while, just kind of veer off, make them think we're a bit more clever than we actually are.
If the fruit hangs low, I will grab the low-hanging fruit.
But you really should.
Why would it hang so low if it were not to be grabbed, Shaun? That is my question. The fault is not within me. It's within the fruit.
Et tu, Brute?
Et tu, fruit.
Oh, God, that would be an episode title. Oh, goodness. But Twilight is operating in Ostania, trying his best to prevent war from happening. Meanwhile, the underground of Ostania is trying to encourage war. Like, multiple different factions are like, hey, we want war, because there are a lot of tensions between these two countries. The pieces tend
All right,
to
now the question becomes, is he assigned a pseudo spy wife, or is he does he get with someone from the opposite side, right? Because that's the two directions it can go from here.
All right. So, one day he is assigned a crucial mission, his most crucial mission to date, to prevent the outright war. Operation Strix, it's called. And his job is to live in Ostania and infiltrate a very powerful diplomat who is heavily suspected of wanting to throw the entire countries back into war and has the most ability to do so. But here's the problem. The only way for him to get close to this man who is incredibly private and secretive is via the incredibly upper echelon private school that his kids go to.
Okay.
So, his Twilight's new mission is to get a wife and child, enroll that child into the school, and use that pathway to get in with this politician's inner circle to hopefully prevent a future massive war.
See, that just tells me he's a rookie in the spy industry, Shaun. You know what a pro would do?
What's that, Rem?
A pro would disguise themselves as a child and just start going to school. That's, hello, my fellow kids.
Oh, God. Funny thing is his specialty is disguise, actually.
He took the lazy way out.
He took the lazy way out. But then he would have had to have somebody be his parents as well, Rem.
Yeah, if he's, once again, a fucking rookie. He should be able to be the child and his own parent.
Hello, I am my own grandpa.
What kind of rookie disguises is he working with? All right, he just needs a 2-for-1.
Yeah, no, his current disguise as a well-accredited psychiatrist, that definitely.
No, that's easy. That's you put off some psychological mumbo jumbo. You dress properly, but that's it. That's all you need to do. Being a child, oh, that's cutthroat.
It doesn't help that he is like a man in his early 30s or late 20s.
Yes, but that is the point of a disguise, Shaun.
Rem, I don't know if you realize, but you can't make yourself shorter. And you're entering this school at age 6.
Sure. Shaun, I'm kind of an expert. I have seen The Master of Disguise.
Oh, please, Rem, please tell me you haven't actually seen that movie.
I'll say, and this is going to be very weird. I loved that movie when I was like 7 years old.
Oh, Rem.
I watched it so many times as a 7-year-old.
Rem, no.
Which I feel like it's also just not a movie for 7-year-olds.
It's not a movie for anybody, Rem. It's one of the worst movies from that era.
It has 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, it's a bad movie, Rem. When its most iconic scene, it includes the line, "Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?"
It's a great line.
It's a bad movie, Rem.
I'll be honest. I had no idea it was this hated because I have not seen it in nearly 2 decades.
Rem, the best joke in it is a fart joke.
I don't know, man. The Turtley Club one is real good.
That's not good, Rem. It's not good.
You might also like Osmosis Jones.
Oh,
yes,
fuck
sir,
off.
I do.
No! We are not getting into my hatred of Osmosis Jones on this episode.
Rotten Tomatoes has quickly learned my taste.
And what does Osmosis Jones have on Rotten Tomatoes?
56%, 42% audience score.
Too high. Anyways, we're talking about the anime. My Christ. Oh, God. I'm going fucking crazy. My Christ. So yes, he has this mission to enroll a child in at Eden Academy. But here's the fun part. He only has a week to do it because that's when enrollment starts.
Oh, okay.
So basically, his organization was just like, this is the only way for you to do this. Good luck, fucker. Otherwise, we're gonna have war. And understandably, this is a bit of a big ask, even for a super spy.
Yeah.
And that's how the story starts. It starts with him recruiting, essentially, his temporary family. He finds Anya, who is an orphan. But the cool thing about Orphan is she is, in fact, a full telepath.
Okay, yep.
So she can read anybody's mind, and she immediately learns that he is a spy. And she thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, pretty dope.
And then one day they meet Yor, who is the mother figure, potentially. And her secret identity is she is a full assassin for Ostania.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right,
Yep, the Thorn Princess, they call her.
Good God.
And it's not very clear if, like, they're against Westalis. It's mostly her killing, quote-unquote, traitors to Ostania. So
well,
you could interpret that.
It sounds like it has an interesting premise, and I'm interested to see how it compares to The Master of Disguise, which will be my benchmark going into this.
In that case, Ren, this is going to be your favorite anime of all time. Like, no doubt.
But can it really beat the movie that Keith Phipps described as a film about as funny as a seeping wound? He reviewed it in 2013. Keith, that says something about you more so than... Who's reviewing the movie in 2013?
I think Nostalgia Critic did a review in like 2018.
Oh, Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah. But no, it's a bad movie and you should stop talking about it. But the whole premise is, hey, this fake family, they all have their own little personal goals. Anya's personal goal is to, have a nice family and be entertained. That's her goal.
Which one of the family would you personally label as turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
I hate you. I hate you so much. The only one that makes sense remotely is Lloyd, which is his undercover name. Is Twilight's undercover name for Lloyd Forger, if you can believe. because he can disguise himself as anything. But
Apparently not a kid.
I'm gonna kill you, Rem. I'm gonna look. You may live a decent ways away from me, but I will hop in my car, drive the 30 minutes I need to, and kick your ass in person. And I'll get your girlfriend to help me too, because she'll agree with me. This is a very special anime to me, Rem, and I don't want you to taint it with one of the worst movies in existence. It's a cute anime. It's very wholesome. It has some fun action scenes. It's very funny. It's a good anime. I love it a lot. I love the manga even more. I just want you to enjoy this one, Rim. I really want you to. And not to have you compare it to objectively. Like, it's not even like a personal thing. It's an objective thing. One of the worst movies of all time.
You know what? I recognize I fucked up. I recognize I fucked up. What I should have said is, "Hey, Yugs, am I thoroughly enough?" All right, let's just cut to part 2. We're
We're cutting to part 2 because you're laughing at your own jokes, which means that this episode is gonna be dog shit. So with that in mind,
part two, I'll be much more focused. But man, what a great part 1.
With that in mind, let's go watch 5 episodes of Spy Family. End me now.
This is just what competent storytelling looks like, guys. I'ma get that bread. I'ma cum slut, daddy.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 5 whole episodes of the hit 2022 anime, Spy Family, or Spy X Family if you prefer. And on that note, y'all, if you get upset over people pronouncing the X in the name, get over yourself. That's all I have to say. But that's just a minor nitpick from me, who has gotten a lot of interesting emails lately on whether or not we are pronouncing things correctly. And X doesn't matter that much. What does matter, though, is Remington's thoughts on this show. Because, Remington, I am not mincing words when I say that this is easily the most popular show of this season, and is a contender for many people's anime of the year. So whatever you say, you better have some good facts and logic to back it up. Because if you don't, there's only going to be hell to pay. So,
there will be consequences.
And speaking of consequences, just a casual note, if you could tell a bit of a difference in mine and Remington's voices, that's because we spent a whole night shouting the night before recording a podcast. Don't worry about it, we're fine.
Yeah, it's haunted house related. In the middle of spring, you're damn right. So just don't worry. We're trying to emulate Dylan a little bit more, you know?
We are having a bit more bass in our tone, a little gravel to make it nice and chocolatey. You know, we're doing what we can.
But yeah, let's get the elephant out of the room, Shaun.
Mm-hmm.
Spy Family is a trash show. So
no,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You can't do that. You can't do that. People will immediately shut off the podcast the second you say the word trash. You know that. They're like, all right, time to cancel these two podcasting nerds. Gotta cancel them for even joking about insulting this show.
So that was a joke. However, Weebs, if when you heard that, if you were filled with blind fury and rage, right? If that had potential to ruin your entire day, you may not want to listen to the rest of it. Not because I think it's actually trash, but because I'm going to have some critiques that y'all aren't gonna like. I know how this goes. We've been through this before. So if my little joke, if you were filled with the utmost rage and anger, then although that is not my true opinion, perhaps you want to sit this one out. Because I got a hunch that some of my comments will be focused on a lot more than others.
It's almost like as soon as somebody hears something negative coming out of your mouth, that's all they focus on and not the justifications or logic and reasoning.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's ever happened. So let's talk about Spy Family. We open episode 1 with a couple diplomats driving down the freeway before, oh no, their brakes don't work and they fucking die.
Hmm.
So nice strong intro. We get some exposition on Twilight, or as we will know him, Lloyd Forger. He breaks up with a girl, gets a new mission, a new life. On his new life, as we mentioned, he needs to get a family. So he immediately adopts Anya, who impresses him due to her mind-reading abilities. She really likes peanuts. She's really into peanuts.
Oh yeah,
She doesn't like, I think it was carrots, but
carrots. Yeah,
that's less relevant to what she does like, which is peanuts.
yeah. No, it's important to know that she likes peanuts. Like
Carrots only mentioned once. Peanuts every episode, baby.
yeah. Well, to be fair, the opening of the anime is called Mixed Nuts. So
But of course,
yeah.
and while the opening is fine, the song wise, the opening song fine, opening visuals amazing, closing song, hell yeah, I vibe with that shit.
Oh yeah, no. That one's called Kigeki, so not as cute as the name, but
But
you
the
know,
song, it's a certified bop.
100%. It's got that old school family sitcom vibe to it.
Yeah. So, it's realized there's like no information on Anya, nice and mysterious. Eventually, Anya, after being adopted, she gets into the spy equipment and she sends a fun little message to a bunch of criminals who show up and ambush Lloyd in the apartment after taking Anya sort of hostage. But Lloyd, he switches with the lackey who captured him, saves Anya, kicks everybody's ass, right? Sends Anya away because it's going to be dangerous and she should just return to the orphanage. But Anya doesn't leave, and after he kicks all the lackeys' ass, he ends up reuniting with her. Then he takes her home. They work on like the exam and stuff, right? And that's generally episode 1. Nice and straightforward. A nice action-packed start.
Yeah.
Episode 2. In episode 1, we were briefly introduced to a character that opens up episode 2, and that's Frankie. Frankie, a fun character. I was worried that, and still to a certain degree, they do Frankie a little bit dirty sometimes, but a lot better than most other shows. Frankie, solid character.
Yeah. Did you know his full name is Frankie Franklin?
It's a perfect name. So right now it's like, okay, Lloyd is looking for a wife, and the first idea is, can Frankie be the mom? And they're like, they quickly decide no. We get some exposition on Yor, who is going to be the eventual mom, and she's currently working as sort of like a housekeeper, maybe?
Secretary, I believe, is
Secretary.
Yeah. Yeah, they it's like an office environment, not a housekeeping
That is
environment.
not an office environment. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Am I out of my mind? They're all dressed in, frankly, what looks to be housekeeping uniforms. I thought either housekeeping or waitress. I did not think secretary.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she works in a government office building. She's a civil servant
What?
kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm so confused. All right, cool.
It doesn't really matter all that
it
much.
doesn't,
That's just kind of her cover job.
Yep. So we get some info there, right? And we get some info that she's lied to her brother about having a boyfriend, and her brother's very interested to meet this boyfriend. Meanwhile, Lloyd is looking through a huge list compiled by Frankie of all of the single women in the entire city, which you know, not creepy at all. Just how things go sometimes. Sometimes you need a list of every single woman in the entire city.
Well, when you're in like a 1980s style Cold War situation, it's
gotta love that surveillance state.
Yep.
And one thing I want to briefly address, speaking of surveillance state,
oh yeah,
that I'm hoping they touch on. I mean, it feels like something they have to touch on, and that's Lloyd is very dedicated, right? A very, very loyal to the cause. But like, they sort of have to touch on the fact that it's like his job isn't the objective moral thing, working for this like gigantic surveillance state.
Well, he is trying to.
Well, okay, yeah, trying to quote unquote avoid war. Look, man,
I got a degree in history. Let me tell you that justification can only go so far. All right. Lots of people are saying, "Oh, we're gonna do this so we avoid war," quote unquote.
Yeah.
And historically, there's usually more to it. There's ulterior motives,
Yeah.
and in this environment, it feels like something that sort of has to be explored to any degree. Like being like, oh no, the gigantic government, they're spying on all of their people and causing, frankly, diplomatic catastrophes just for the good of everyone. Like I don't know, perhaps I'm too cynical, but that doesn't
Just for frame of reference, they are in Ostania right now, and Lloyd is from West Dallas, so he's in enemy territory right now. So this is all surveillance, like spy work done from outside the country, working inwards, just for frame of reference. So he's not working for the country he's currently in, essentially.
Well, yeah, but still.
Well, yeah, no. You think espionage in general is a good thing, Rem? No, fucking course not.
I'm just saying that it's something that I think the show needs to grapple with a little bit at some point. And they have like an easy way to do that with Anya's fascination with like spies and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially being like, hey, so it's not actually this like romantic and sensational. It's like sort of fuck.
Yeah, no, I will say currently in the manga they are doing a little bit of Lloyd backstory stuff right now. So it's giving some more backbone and explanation as to the state of the things with the war and whatnot, and I'm curious to see where it goes from here. But they are doing things to world build a bit more and explore things.
All right, what that means that is filler Shaun speak to say they don't do what I want them to do.
Hey,
they really
hold
need
on.
to. That's what that means?
No, that is not what I'm insinuating.
What that means is they don't do that, but I don't know, they do something vaguely similar, so shut up. Cool, awesome.
Not what I'm saying.
But it's sort of what you're saying, though.
I'm trying to alleviate your
sort
doubts.
of what you're saying.
There's only 63 chapters of the manga out, man. Give it a break.
Continuing on. Lloyd goes to buy Anya some clothes where he runs into Yor. Anya decides to play matchmaker a little bit because there's clear interest on both sides. Whether that is purely ulterior or not, who knows? But Lloyd and Yor agree to be a fake boyfriend/mother to one another, help each other out a little bit. So Lloyd is going to go and visit a party with Yor and pose as her boyfriend. But before he does, he has to go on a quick heist with Frankie. But the heist it doesn't go great, and it causes him to be late for the party. So Yor goes alone. And her coworkers are super catty bitches. It's not going great. And just as she's about to leave, embarrassed and ashamed, Lloyd shows up, bloody as hell. And one of the catty coworkers tries to sabotage everything going on, but it doesn't work because Lloyd is so well composed because he's the suave spy. Goddammit. Eventually, Yor and Lloyd decide to leave and go off on their own. But as they're going, they get run off the road. The lackeys from the heist are still around and attacking, but Yor and Lloyd are able to escape and fight back before eventually we have sort of a proposal scene where Lloyd accepts. Also, it should be noted for some reason, in my notes, it's decided to autocorrect all instances of Lloyd to loud. So that's been something I've been dealing with.
That's the opposite of what he is.
I will say, Lloyd, I don't like how it's spelled.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Yeah, no. You don't, Lloyd, what the fuck? That's not how Lloyd is spelled. We all understand it's double L and then it has a Y, all right? Lloyd, no sir.
If I had to guess, I think it's kind of a pun on, like, lied is the idea, I think.
What?
Yeah, that's the best guess I can make.
What?
Because I don't think I've ever seen it spelled that way before. It looks kind of like lied, if you just kind of swap some of the letters around and change them a bit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's like saying lied with an accent. Oh, he Lloyd. He Lloyd, didn't he?
Oh my god.
He's a forger and he Lloyd.
I love you, Shaun. One of the dumbest things I've heard in a hot minute. All right.
I'm a little out of it, damn it. I'm doing my best. They're not all gonna be winners. I'm trying my best here, bud.
So episode 3, Yor moves in. And the move in, it takes a while in the episode. But there's just some miscellaneous stuff that's happening. I will say, show pretty well paced. It usually doesn't feel too rushed, with the exception of like one scene that we'll get to that I think they could have really gotten into. But it's decently paced, which is nice to see. After she moves in, then they have a little practice interview to practice for the school interview, right? And it just goes horrendously. Anya and Yor are horribly unprepared. They should not be allowed in civil society. They just do not belong, frankly. But that's why they're so lovable. Yor is socially awkward and only knows murder, but not in the way where it's like they could have easily fallen into the trope where you just have character who is like, yes, my blades, right? But they do more with Yor, but
No,
that's sort of the archetype they base it from, right?
Yeah, no, like rather than like the cold killer who knows nothing about love, she's just a cinnamon bun who happens to be good at killing people.
Yeah, she's really good at killing and also just socially inept as fuck.
Yep.
Like that's her. And Anya, she is like telepathic, right? She's a mind reader, but also dumb as fuck.
Yes.
She's and not just because she's a child. Like it is canonical. She is a stupid child. She is not a smart child.
Look, you've got to nerf her perfect mind reading ability somehow.
Yeah, and I support that decision because it's like usually telepathic mind reader characters, it's like, yeah, and then they got the biggest brains around. For Anya, it's like, no, she can read minds, but she's pretty stupid.
Which just makes her more lovable.
Yeah. But let's get to my first critique, and it's about Anya.
Oh no, here we go. This is what I was the most scared of, Rem, because guess what everybody loves the most about this anime?
I'll start with a light critique about her.
Okay.
They overuse one shock face with her all the goddamn time. Like, Anya doesn't have... She could have a bunch of, like, unique, interesting, fun reaction shots. We've covered anime that have amazing, unique reaction shots, right? And we get some of that, but 90 to 95% of the time, it's the same wide-eyed shock face. Oh, she's read someone's mind and it said something crazy. Wide-eyed shock face. It's like, okay, I get it. Can we get a little bit of variety, please? Please.
There will be more variety. Like, in literally the next episode, one of her most, like, popular faces shows up on several occasions, and there's more that are coming down the line, but I get what you mean with that.
Yeah, it's something that I think they use as a crutch a little too much. It's like, no, I understand. She can read their mind, and wow, that is shocking information. I have gathered that. So let's just start with a light critique, all right? Start with a little light critique.
Mm-hmm.
Weebs, it's gonna be okay. Continuing onward. After practicing the interview, they go to like the opera and the museum and the tailor. They take some photos. They attend a nationalist rally to represent their patriotism, right? Which is another thing where it's like the show clearly wants to at least touch on, not like make the main point of the story, which isn't what I want either, but it feels comfortable touching on the politics of this world, right? Which is somewhat inherent to the genre.
Mm-hmm.
But like, come on, dude. If you're gonna do it in a little bit better of a fashion. That's all I'm saying. Nonetheless, at one point they get food and they see an old woman getting mugged. So they all work to save her and beat the shit out of the mugger, and then they go back home for Coco. Something you guys will probably notice is that I'm getting through these episode summaries pretty quickly, and it's because it's a pretty straightforward show. It's more straightforward than like most shows out there. It's got a premise. It knows what its premise is. It knows how it wants to tell the story, which, hey, we'll take it. Something else I will say is around episode 3, I was getting bored with Lloyd. I understand that he's like the straight man of the trio, right? But around episode 3, I was like, we need something from him. Because right now his entire character he's the straight man spy. Like, it's not enough. That's not enough. He gets a tiny bit more character, but it's still a critique I will somewhat stand by. And with that, we go to episode 4. Episode 4, they're going to the exam, and but even before the exam, they're being judged, right? Especially based on elegance. Elegance is the name of the game here. Shaun, do you think you're an elegant fella?
Absolutely not. No. I've got a long way to go. I have my moments, but fuck, no, like, if I was to show up to one of these meetings, they'd be like, "What's this gangly looking fuck doing here? Get him out of here. He doesn't belong in high society."
2 things I want to know. One thing, in the last fanfiction I wrote for our patrons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did describe you as a gangly fuck.
Yeah, weird.
That exact phrase. So I'm just glad.
Want to know something hilarious, Rem?
Yeah.
I recently described myself in the exact same way in one of the fanfiction I was writing. So, it's a little universal. It's unfortunate. Usually people say the way what others look at you is not the way you look at yourself. But
in this instance,
there's some exceptions to the rule, as it turns out.
My self-awareness there.
Yeah, self-awareness, or that, or my self-confidence is so far down the drain that my perception matches what others view of me. So whether or not that's a concerning facet of my own personality and my own life, that'll be something for me to dissect later, maybe with my therapist that I don't have, but we'll have to see.
Let me ask you, what's the most elegant thing you've ever done, ever, in your entire goddamn life?
Oh, Rem, I can't think of anything.
You said you had your moments.
I was giving myself the benefit of the doubt, Rem.
It's like, I'm sure that there have been moments. I can't think of any, but it's statistically likely. They gotta exist somewhere.
Let me text my girlfriend, see if she has any answers for me. Maybe if anybody does, maybe she does. I would text my mother as well, but we both know how that's not going to go well.
Oh man! All right, perfect. As you text your girlfriend, and who knows, maybe we'll see if she replies. I'll continue. So they judge based on elegance, and at every turn, the forgers have the perfect response to everything elegant. They're absolutely nailing it. At one point, there's a straight up animal stampede. I don't know why there is all of the animals. It's just like all of the farm animals.
Well, it's a elementary to college school campus. So, they have an animal husbandry section, It's very elegant to have an animal husbandry section, especially one with Gene Simmons style markings.
So, there's a leader bull, I guess, causing the stampede, and your kicks its ass, and then Anya comforts it. A little bit of a weird moment. But sure, lean into the absurdity. I'm fine with that. Because the show, it's balanced on like, oh, lovely human moments, and then just crazy off the wall insanity. And I think once again, it strikes that balance pretty good. So they have the interview at this point, and the interview goes pretty well until one of the interviewers, one of the headmasters, is in a recent divorce and lost custody of their daughter, so he hates seeing a happy family. And he starts asking Anya, the little girl, about her old mom and her old life and everything, which causes Anya to cry, and the forgers end up just deciding to leave the interview. So it doesn't go as nice as they would have otherwise wanted it, right? Episode 5, finally. They're going to check to see the results. They don't know. Obviously, the interview, it seemed to go amazing until it didn't go well. Who knows? And on their way, there's just a series of unfortunate coincidences. Oh man, there's a black cat and the Anya steps in poop. Oh no. So it's starting to be a rough morning, and then they go and they see they're not on the list. Oh, tragic. They're not on the list. But the elegant headmaster calls them over and points out that they are at least on the waiting list. And they're at the top of the waiting list. So all that needs to happen is that one person needs to withdraw. And then it seems, I'm not exactly sure. It feels like there's something missing here, because by all accounts, you got a spy. At one point, Yor thinks of assassinating a parent to forcibly withdraw their child, which I think would be going too far. Don't do that, but fun to fantasize about it. Child murder, hell yeah. But
Well, she
but-
was going to assassinate the parents of the child, not the child themselves.
Yes.
Don't be ridiculous, Rem.
But like I thought we could see some like Lloyd shenanigans, and it felt like they wanted Lloyd shenanigans, but then no, it just someone withdraws off screen and they're just immediately accepted. So that was a little bit oddly paced. Episode 5 as a whole is just oddly paced. Like I think it should have been 2 episodes. And I will explain why. First, everything I just described, I think it should have been a full episode of them getting someone to withdraw, right? And the struggles that can come with that. And how I would have that is like you have Yor trying to get people to withdraw, but also trying not to like do it through murder. And she's horribly incompetent because like if she can't murder, what would she do? Lloyd, he has these convoluted techniques, but for one reason or another, they don't work. And then I would straight up just have Anya like accidentally traumatize a kid by reading his mind, or a parent, right? Just traumatize them by reading their mind and not even realize she's like traumatizing them, right? But causing a lot of problems nonetheless. And that caused the withdrawal. And that would be a fun little episode. It'd be an enjoyable little episode, and it would fix the weird pacing going on, I think. But the second half of the episode is to celebrate Anya getting in. They recreate her favorite spy show by renting out the actual castle from the spy show, getting a bunch of actual agents in there, and staging a LARP. It is just a LARP. It is a spy LARP for Anya. And it's fun. It's fun, though it also, I felt, should be longer because there's only like a couple scenes here, and it's fun and wacky and over the top, but it should have been a little bit more. So in this episode, you have 2 things which should have just been the entire episode rather than half of the episode, right? So that's my stance.
All right. I mean, those aren't the worst critiques ever. Like, I don't think that's the kind of thing that would get people riled up. Just so you have a frame of reference, weirdly, that's 5 episodes, right? You know how many chapters of the manga they adapted?
How many?
6.
Huh.
Yeah. Like, literally, they actually added some custom content to that whole castle scene because that was just a fun little scene tacked on to the end of the chapter of the manga it was featured in.
See, but I think they should have added even more. I think it should have been an entire episode because like what we saw was fun and interesting. And I was like, oh, it was probably my favorite part thus far.
Yeah. Part of the reason I wanted to get the full 5-episode experience. And clearly people at the studio agreed with you, Rem, because they're like, hey, this is great and has potential. Let's, quote unquote, add some filler to it and just extend it all the way out to a little bit of extra stuff. And like, weirdly, it worked really, really well, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, the scene in the manga was cute too, but it was, very simple and straightforward. They clearly wanted to add more to this, and they did, which I think is pretty good. But I suppose I can see where you're coming from saying, yeah, adding an extra episode on would have been nice, even if it was fully filler. But you know what?
Well, I mean, but filler in this show, like, it is action and slice of life.
Yes. You can slip filler in without it being an issue.
Well, especially because even like calling it filler, part of the entire show is them building the relationship together, right?
Exactly.
So I think it would be plenty justified. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
And usually I don't have a super high tolerance for it. So me suggesting it, saying something.
Hilariously, there are actually filler manga chapters as well, where it's you could call it filler, where it's not progressing like the main story, but it is like fun family situations and them interacting with each other for a chapter or 2.
Yeah, which when one of the main story beats is them developing as a family, I think it works.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about possibly my largest critique, Shaun.
And the one that's going to get us all the emails because people won't listen carefully.
So here's the thing.
Oh,
Clearly, I thought it's a good show. When it comes to the hype, I don't get it. I do not get the hype for the show. Not because it's bad, but it's like, yeah, it's a fine, pleasant show. I don't see the big deal though. Like it's good. It's not astoundingly amazing.
Ooh. See, now Remington, now everybody's pissed at you. Look what you did. You had a fair and reasonable opinion, and then just like did a backhanded thing where you said, hey, y'all, it's not as good as you think it is. So there you go. Congratulations.
I'm just sort of like, all right, it has some fun humor, but it's not like I was laughing my butt off. Like there's been funnier things. It has some pretty cute moments and some nice human moments, but we've seen other shows do those better. The action is pretty fun, right?
Mhm.
But it's not like the focus on of the show. But it is enjoyable. It's a good show, but I don't get why everyone has decided that it's the best thing ever. I'm missing something here. All right. I thought I was gonna be. I had high expectations, and it's not that I was like super disappointed, but I was like, oh, is that it though?
Oh, Jesus.
Because like it's a solid show, but what's the big deal? Is sort of my thesis statement.
Oh, boy, Rem. You know those are the type of opinions that piss people off the most, right?
I'm aware, but I don't understand why it's gonna piss people off because I don't understand why people are crazy for it. Like, sure, Anya is cute. Is she the cutest little girl we've seen? No. Like Sweetness and Lightning, Shark Song was probably cuter than anything Anya did in Spy Family thus far. Which isn't to say Anya isn't cute, but does she reach the cuteness of the Shark Song? I don't think so.
Oh my goodness, Rem. Oh, you are playing with fire, it seems.
I help me understand why do people think that it's the best of the season, possibly best of the year, for some people probably their best ever. Why?
It might have
Where's the
some.
disconnect here?
Well, Rem, I think you might be a little too jaded for this show, honestly. It's probably just the fact that you're a soulless, heartless monster.
No, if I was a soulless heartless monster, then I would be saying, oh, no, it's not doing it for me. I don't like it. No, I get the appeal. I enjoy it. It's not that I don't understand the appeal. It's that I don't understand the magnitude.
There are probably so many different theories as to why people love Spy Family so much, and I'm sure there's loads of video essays on it out there. But Rem, I think it might be as simple as it makes them laugh, it makes them feel wholesome things, and it has a nice balance of all those things. And not to mention, it makes people wish they could have a nice, happy family life because, as we all know, people in the anime community have rough family lives.
Want to hear my hypothesis?
Okay.
I think that the weebs are just like, wow, it's actually competent. It's a actual competently done show. Holy shit, it's astoundingly amazing. Because as I've long maintained, the vast majority of anime is just hot garbage. So finding anything that does what it does well, which once again, Spy Family does what it does well, it checks all of the boxes it's trying to check. And finally being met with that, it's like, oh wow, it's astoundingly good. And it's like, it's good, but guys, this is just what like a good show looks like. That's just, are you okay?
My goodness, I cannot wait for the emails we get about this because
let me put it this way, Sean, right?
Yeah.
Five Guys has really solid burgers, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Really solid burgers.
Yeah.
And if you decided like for your anniversary to take your girlfriend out to Five Guys, there'd be a little bit of a disconnect there. Not because Five Guys isn't good, but because it's like, it's not good enough. But if you had never had a good burger, right, at all, if you were living off of just frozen like microwave burgers, then Five Guys, you'd be like, holy shit, it's groundbreaking. And I think that's what's happening here.
Oh my god, Ram.
I think the weebs have long subsisted on those frozen burgers, and so they finally get something that tastes pretty good, and they're over the fucking moon. But it's good, guys. But like, it's just Five Guys.
Oh god, Ram. Oh god.
Or if you'd prefer to sort of match with hype levels In and Out, right?
Oh,
so there's
god.
just a discussion with hype as well. Like it's fine. But guys,
I'm gonna say it. Five Guys is better than In-N-Out. Come at me, Californians.
I'd probably agree.
Yeah, no. Like, I'll take the hate for that.
But yeah, so that's my general claim. And it's like, and here's the thing. Normally the weebs could say, well, you just need to watch more. At the time of recording, there's not more. All right? At the time of recording, I'm caught up. At the time of recording, I'm on the same playing field as all the fucking weebs, which is rare, can we say?
I mean, to be
very
fair,
rare.
I mean, episode 6 is dropping, in a little bit, so you're not quite. You're for a little bit. You're caught up, Rem, just for a little bit.
But nonetheless, I've seen the hype at this level, right? I'm now caught up at this level. Weebs, I'm on the same playing field for once. I have an informed opinion just as much as you.
Well,
And it's just not. It's not nothing crazy. It's good. It's a good show, but that's all it is, guys.
well, technically, Rem, you're not on the same playing field as me, as I've read the whole manga up to the current point. So really, you're still
Oh,
behind.
Oh, you and your fucking weep cred. But that's not where the hype develops. The hype isn't developing exclusively from the manga. It's I don't get it. Is it because of the memes? Is that why?
The memes.
Like, I don't want to say like, oh, it's been memed into popularity, but I'm sort of like, I assumed the memes came because it was so uniquely special. Did I get it wrong? Do people think it's uniquely special because of the memes? Did I get it backwards?
No. That's definitely not the case. Granted, the manga community has been dropping memes on it since its inception because it's a very popular manga. Like I said, I've been following it for like the past year and a half, and I've loved it quite a lot. But like, it hasn't been to the point where it's not like to the same level as like a Komi-san type of meme. Though it after episode 6 drops, it definitely will be, because that is the episode with the most iconic face from the early parts of the manga that I'm sure even you have seen at some point, Rem.
I don't know, maybe.
Like, it is
But
genuine.
I just think it's like the weeps have been so deprived that they get a somewhat original premise for the anime in a somewhat unique setting, with fun characters who aren't just tropes. All of which I agree are good things, but for them it's like, holy shit, the greatest ever. No, this is just what competent storytelling looks like, guys. Like, and which is good. It is good that Spy Family has that.
Oh my god, Rem. I was not expecting you to have this kind of an opinion on the show. Oh, you never cease to surprise me. But you still think it's a really good show, right? Right?
Yeah. Yes, it's a well done show.
Yeah, if you had to give it a number, what would you give it?
My personal score, what I think
Yeah.
the weebs would give it.
What you think it'll give it? We'll talk about what the weebs will give it in a minute.
I would probably give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7, which for me is good.
And to weebs, they will cry if they hear that.
Once again, weebs, for me, 5 is a true neutral. All right? 5 is a true neutral. Anything above that's positive, right? 6.5 to 7, that's good. That's real solid. It's a real solid show. It's sort of the baseline for like, yeah, it's doing everything. It's doing everything good.
Oh god, and I don't want to break your heart or anything, but do you remember what Sweetness and Lightning's mouse score is? I don't remember if we started doing the mouse score thing back when we discussed
I
that show.
remember it being lower than I thought it would.
Yeah. So just for frame of reference, a show that you claims has a cuter girl.
And let me say, I think this is a better show than Sweetness and Lightning on balance. But
You think
just on the
Sumidi is
cuteness
cuter.
factor, the shark song, dude, we've yet to give Anya a shark song moment. She's had a lot of cute moments. Nothing to match that shark song.
Well, for frame of reference, with 125,000 ratings, which is very low for an anime that came out in 2016, Sweetness and Lightning sits at 7.53 right now.
Yeah. And I'm ready to predict Spy Family's rating.
All right, if you had to guess, what do you think the mouse score for Spy Family is?
Okay, so here are my calculations that I'm doing in my head, right?
All right.
so wildly hyped, it's unbelievable.
Right.
I've seen some miscellaneous stuff, and I don't know if it's like it should be this or if it is this, but about it like ranking over other popular anime. Once again, I don't know if it was people saying it should rank higher than these popular anime or if it did. Because as soon as I realize a meme I'm looking at is an anime meme, I usually tune out.
Yep.
But so there's discussion openly about the rating. It's also brand new. I think I'm gonna say 8 point. Oh, dare I? All right, I think it's gonna be leveled out, right? I think
Right.
as it continues, it's almost certainly going to lower down because that's the nature of shows.
Right.
But right now it's at its fever pitch.
Correct.
I think I'm gonna sort of give a crazy score.
Really?
I just because of all of these factors, right?
Okay.
It's one of those things. I don't even think the weebs will ultimately decide that this is the score.
But it's so early in the show that
so
like,
early with so much hype, it's how it goes. 8.9.
Wow.
8.95. I'm going crazy.
That is an insanely high score, Rem.
It might be the highest score I've ever guessed.
Yes.
And it's because I think all of those factors are just gonna fuck the rating. It's just gonna skew it so heavily. That's my guess.
Well,
if it doesn't skew it so heavily, I'll be somewhat surprised.
Well, for frame of reference, Rem, the only two anime on Mal right now that have a score of 8.95 is Gintama, which has a very devout fan base.
Is that the egg?
No, that's Gudetama.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, Gintama is a gag anime that's been going on for a long ass time.
What the fuck? I have never heard of it.
Well, yeah, no, because it's literally made for fans of Shonen Jump, essentially.
Okay.
Like, look, it's gonna be a controversial statement, but if I was to describe Gintama, it's kind of like, in terms of like staying power and popularity, it's like the early Simpsons of anime.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a lot of referential stuff and a lot of goofs and gags that fans of Shonen Jump and Shonen and similar properties love and adore it, and it means a lot to them. So it's had a lot of staying power over the years. That and the Violet Evergarden movie are the only two that are currently sitting at 8.95, which that's 16th and 17th place respectively.
Oh, fuck.
Of all anime.
Oh, I mean, okay. Perhaps I have rated it too high, but nonetheless, you got to stick with your guns.
Yeah. So, with currently 182,000 users, which is only a couple, like 10,000 more than Sweetness and Lightning, Spy Family, or Spy X Family, just to annoy some people, is sitting nice and, like, respectfully at 9.08.
What the fuck?
It is ranked number 4 on Mal right this second.
Weebs.
The only two anime above it, the only 3 anime above it, I shit you not, is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the last season of Gintama, which, I got some opinions about that, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And the one that I have the most opinions about, fucking Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2.
All right, first of all. All right. Okay. Hold on just a minute. All right. I was about to talk about how that's definitely too high for Spy Family. However, there's a more pressing issue with that top 4. One of them, I'm like, okay, yeah, I sort of get it. Another one, I have nothing to say about. But one of those, I think we all know which one.
There's a lot to dissect there, isn't there?
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's not even like all of Season 3, it's just Part 2 of Season 3.
Weebs? Are you okay?
No, they're not, Rem.
It's like, yeah, no. Let me put it this way, all right? The motherfuckers put frozen burgers above Five Guys, so of course they're gonna put Five Guys still really high. I don't know why I'm blown away.
God, just for some numbers references, because if we ever get to season 3 of Attack on Titan, God forbid, season 3 part 2 has 1.2 million ratings, right?
Jesus.
Which is some of the most of any anime we've ever considered covering, and 42% of them are 10 out of 10. So
Guys.
yeah, so like it's a little bit skewed. It's a little bit skewed. And Rem, though I don't know if you would rate it 1 out of 10 because I don't know if you're that harsh a critic of it. Only 0.8% of people gave it a 1 out of 10. And everything in between that ranges between 0.1 and 0.5 until you get to 6 out of 10, where there's barely a 1% margin.
I would probably give it like a 2.5 out of 10, I think.
Yeah. And that's just with you having seen half of like the first season.
Which is enough.
No, but Rem, I hear it gets really good after episode 32.
Man, after you watch the entire thing 4 times, oh man, eventually that Stockholm syndrome really kicks in, let me tell you.
It's a real suspension bridge effect, if you will.
But back to Spy Family. In summary, I think it is a good show. But do I think that it is turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
No, Rem!
I can't say that it is.
Rem, fuck you! Fuck you! I was on your side for the majority of the second half, and then you come in at the end to kick me in the dick with that reference that I hoped you had forgotten about in the week's time since we've recorded.
A fun fact, if you Google Master of Disguise, in the People Also Ask section, the very first question is Master of Disguise the worst movie ever?
The answer is a solid maybe. I am so pissed at you, Rem.
Oh my god.
But I guess the final question I have to ask you before I run over there and kill you for bringing that goof back is any chance you'd want to watch some more Spy Family with me, Rem?
Sure, why not? It would be pleasant.
That's good, because if I ever hear you mention Master of Disguise again on our sacred fucking podcast, my safe space, if you will, might be the end of
What
you.
about Austin Powers?
Less offensive, I will say.
It is fun fact that I may have already shared at some point, either in this episode or years and years ago. But for the longest time, because I saw them both when I was very young, like far too young for either of these things, I, for the longest time, thought Master of Disguise and Austin Powers were the same thing.
Ooh, boy. Like, if anything, Master of Disguise tried to be Austin Powers, but failed very hard at it, which is very bad considering when you think of the quality of Austin Powers. Like,
tell that to little Remington when he was just Anya's age, all right? He didn't know the difference.
Oh, God.
He also shouldn't have been watching those movies. Just
he shouldn't.
Reiterate that.
He shouldn't.
Just to really solidify those not good movies for that age.
If anything, it explains way too much about how you are the way you are now, Ren. And I am so concerned for your mental health, like, in the future because of it. But with that in mind, go watch Spy Family. It's wonderful. I love it a lot. I'm not going to give my personal rating because I don't want to get angry messages. So with that in mind...
That means... Yeah, guys, that means it's closer to me than it is to you. That's what that means, weebs.
What it means is I love the anime a lot and I'm a diehard fan. But I also understand that some things can be overhyped and people need to calm down. But with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed myself and Remington ranting about the most popular anime of the season, don't get used to it because we've got a lot of old anime to cover too. But we'll chip in every once in a while. And slight update: my girlfriend responded.
Hey, perfect timing.
I asked her if she had any thoughts about me that were elegant, and the only thing she could come up with is, your cheekbones are very elegant, if that helps. So, my confidence is a little bit higher.
Look, I'm gonna say it. That's good girlfriend right there.
She did
That's
her
an old
best.
friend who has posed her the question that she had no idea how to answer, but she dug deep and she found something.
It took her 30 minutes, but she did it. I'm proud of her.
I like to imagine the entire 30 minutes was just spent trying to figure out how to answer in a way that wasn't no.
I'm going to choose to think of it as a genuine compliment that she thought long and hard about and was being very nice
Oh my
about.
God.
So all future fan art will just have to include my great cheekbones. But with that in mind, if you'd like to support us, then we've got a couple things you can do. You can head on over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and leave us a review. It means the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if you'd like to support us more directly, we do have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington do occasionally play video games exceedingly poorly. But if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you can gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to have your name read aloud on the podcast. So, Remington, who are we thinking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to the yandere waifus, who are going to stab us repeatedly with thorns before getting drunk and flirtatious. And on that list, we have Alex, Xanax, you crazy bastards did it. I made it to finals week and will graduate in May. I truly had the power of God and anime on my side. Yandere Neko, you here. Why Shaun, why Shaun? Welcome to my bakery, crumb sluts.
My God. That's a new one.
There's something about crumb sluts. Just, oh my God.
Look, is that what the kids mean when they say they want to get that bread? I'm learning all kinds of new things. You hear that,
I'm gonna
Zoomers?
get
I'm
that
hip.
bread. I'm a cum slut, daddy.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Dylan, have fun with that sound file. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. That might be the most we've been broken by a Patreon name in a while. Holy shit.
Like, we get a lot of good Patreon names, so sometimes one hits me just right.
Yeah, right in the giggle dick. Holy shit, Rem. You might say it really ingrained itself on you.
Oh my God. Walk Me Home Gently, Wacky Hypotheticals, Juliana, Tyler Wardley, Trenton Farrell, Travis J. Humphrey, Totally God, Titan CNH, Tim Westy. This is how you swing while standing up, says Miska as she becomes one with the wind. The Susanator is shown in trash, aka Data Type. The Susanator, that film guy, that was the worst throw ever of all time. Tetsuo 13, taste testing the anime out of context casts yogurt. Sorry guys, I lost control of time. I forgot to count characters and that fucking stupid website cut me off, but I'm calm now. Silent Secondary, Shaun yawns, boy I'm tired. Shaun yawns, me too. Shaun yawns, me 3. Shaun, I get the White Swartz International Hololive PR cards to all do the exact same thing, but I want the Amelia Watson, damn it. Shaun, can I tickle you?
I'm gonna have to pass. I'm not very ticklish, as it turns out.
Shaft is that's what they all say, Shaun. Shaft is producing a Ruby adaptation, so my Yang cosplay will be relevant again. School Days and Clannad for the field. Salty Pretzel, Run, she's a ghost and a bitch. Ross Palmer, Rhiannon Williams, Rem is a bland bitch tsundere protagonist. Remington Merrill, Rem gave me depression. No waifu, no lifu. Nick Harvey, Nando the Mando, Mike the Mutilator, Makeka 7 Hierto, Mexican Gun Freaks, Matthew Drum says Shaun's a bitch, Matthias Rodas, Matt02 Max, Lizzianthia, Lukio, Casey Mosley, Kay, Cassidy, Julian Garcia, Jax, Jamhands. I'm just here for Rem's insightful yet incorrect takes. It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Let's watch some ecchi BS. It's Rem's ass a cheesecake because I'm starving. Oh my God. I'm lonely, so I watch anime. I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franks for me. I guess you're on Keter duty. Hunter Davies. Hey, you slob on my knob like corn off the cob. They give me head like Rem in bed. Do a moan. Hey everyone, come check out the best anime podcast on the internet, Ballin' Out Super. Okay, plug. I don't know. It's Shaun,
sneaking some advertisements in there.
Shaun, see if that's worth promoting. Already we promoted it, but there you go. Check it out. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. If it's not, shit. Glenn Michael Dolan, fuck with Love Foxen Boy. Finally got my husband to admit that a BL anime has a cute romance story, now to make him watch Nakachi and ruin that thought. Farmer Weeb's bad pickup line of the week is your ass an NFT because its value be dipping. Fantide, Extreme Cobra. Every time when Rem says his thoughts on the anime are complex, all of us are in for a treat. Oh, motherfucker. Ethylene diamintetricitate, phosphorus uranium sulfide yttrium. Epigamy, Dylan's masculine meow is now my new notification. Dramatic T, Darkstorm 713, Creed 13, Cody Malone, Shine 900, Cheese Monkey, Cage in the House, Brother Yant wants more Shaun impressions, Brockhard for Geodudes, Big Blue Bear Boy, Ashley Poe, and Andrew Poe, Ariel Bird. Anyone who defends Redo of Healer belongs on the government watch list. Announcement for all Genshin players, the age of consent is 18. Anime Nosebleed, Elise Howard, AJ Honey. Thank you all so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Now we move on across the pond to Boy Wizards, where everyone will be assigned one of the greatest spy films of all time, according to Esquire.com. And on that list, we start with warning, you're 799 episodes away. You get Spiona? I don't know, man. It's German and it was released in 1928. You only open a list with something with a movie from 1928 if you're trying to be a pretentious list.
That's their opener. That's their opener.
There is not any movie or show from the 1920s that's worth watching, other than for its historical value. And if you think it's one of the better things, like it's just not. It's just not. It can be influential, impactful, and important. Better than what we have now. Anyway, Vincent Calabrese, you get Sneakers. I don't know what to tell you. Stick Meat, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Rika is the best waifu. You get Fantomas, El Hombre de la Guillotine. That one's from 1913. What's up with this list that you can have?
Were there
you
a
can
lot
have
of spy
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, and this Spanish film from 1913 back to back.
I don't understand.
Rat Beast with the finish and the one who summoned 7 heroes from across Earth's history. You get Cloak and Dagger from the 40s. Okay, this list. Clearly it has a hard-on for old stuff and for some reason Austin Powers.
Which is a weird mix. If we're talking about spy films, that's a weird mix, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I know some of the classic spy films aren't as good as we used to think they are, but, like, they're worth mentioning at least. Like, more so than I think Austin Powers or random, like, noir-age spy films. No, wait, that's even pre-noir, isn't it? Yeah, because noir is, like, big in, like, the 40s and, like setting and such. So,
yeah, Cold War.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, y'all?
Yeah, Cold War, so it would be especially in, like, 50s onward. Anyway, Pocket Gamer 513, you get Matahari from the 30s. Please Do Angel Beats Please, you get The Lady Vanishes, also from the 30s. PL Mayor, A Most Wanted Man from 2014, hey! Finally, we broke in the ancient texts. My Afro Ate My Dog, you get The Conversation. I guess I'll keep saying the decade from the 70s. We've just started that trend. Everyone will be curious. Momo the Griff, The General from 1920s. Mike wants an Overlord review. You get Atomic Blonde from 2017. Miguel DeLeon, you get Spione again? Am I being fucked with? They just listed on the list again.
You need a different list, my guy.
They just put it on the list again.
No, you don't understand. This is the best spy movie. This random German spy film that nobody's heard from. Like, and I consider myself a movie buff, but, like, even I have my limits. My fuck.
Oh, God. All right, I will keep going. I think we just did Mike Wants an Overlord review, I think. Miguel DeLeon, you get Citizen 4 from 2014. My Tawa says first 3 arcs of Bakemonogatari is just 8 episodes. You get Top Secret, 84. Is the year for that. It is I, Sage. I've hit a roadblock in my invasion of Utah, but these Utah police can't hold me and my Pokemon forever. Special shout out to you, Sage. And you get the Ipcrest file from the 60s. Inuyasha is my favorite crypt. It says, you must be a light switch because every time I see you, you turn me on. You get No Way Out from the 80s. I, Rem, want everyone to know that I suck and that I'm a girl and that I like ribbons in my hair and that I want to kiss all the boys. You get Bridge of Spies from 2015. I've just finished watching every one of your episodes and I loved them. Well, thank you very much. And for that, you get Burn After Reading in 2008. Hinata's Ball of Sunshine, you get Mission Impossible Fallout from 2018. Only that Mission Impossible, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few.
Hey Kids throws Biscuit into Abyss. Fetch, you get Enemy of the State from 98.
This is a buck fucking wild list, Rem.
It's a wild ride.
Like, it is the most random spy movie list I have ever heard.
It's the best of all time, John. You just have to trust it. Harrison, you get Argo from 2012. Go ahead, call the cops who won't unvirgin the olive oil. You get Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy from 2011. Gay as fuck, but without the fuck cause I'm ace, you get The Born Identity from 2002. Fisherman from Norway, you get Notorious from the 1940s. Do not read aloud. And then I'm gonna read it aloud anyway. Hey, let's attack the ecclesiarchy with our demons and summon more. Quote from the words that brought Exterminatus. Still do not understand, but hey, you get The 39 Steps from the 1930s. I hate this list. I'm so done with this list. And, oh my god. Demon Ray 13, you get 3 Days Off the Condor. 3 Days of the Condor, rather. It's 1970s. And Choi 4, oh, what do you know? Master of Disguise. Definitely on there.
No,
it's definitely on the list.
No, not even this list.
You don't need to check the list. It's on the list.
No, I refuse, Rem. I
it's on every
categorically
list.
refuse. It is no.
So there you go. Demon Ray. All Father's facts are on hiatus for the foreseeable future because he ran out of facts and doesn't want to make Dylan do more work. You know, fair enough. You get From Russia with Love from 1960s.
Hey, I know that one.
Aaron Hegland.
That's the first Bond film to make this list.
Aaron Hegland, you're about to get what I was gonna put it as a meme. You get Spy Kids.
No, Rem, that's not actually on the list, is it?
It is. It is. I was gonna meme it into existence, but it is on the list.
Rem.
I was gonna do Spy Kids if the list ran out, but it is just on the
uncle,
list.
Rem. It doesn't. That's all I can remember from that movie is just they have Uncle Machete.
Spy Kids versus Master of Disguise versus Austin Powers versus Lloyd Forger. Here we go. Spy battle, baby.
Lloyd Forger wins because he's from anime.
I'm just saying, anybody who wants to do some crazy ass fan art of those four squaring off. Woo! Anyway, 2-sec Shaun, I have to show you my Rule 34 of UE. It is my favorite of my many folders. You are going to get North by Northwest from the 50s. There you go.
I actually know that one.
Next, we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where everybody is going to be serenaded with a famous spy line said by Shaun as Joey Wheeler. But Shaun will change one word from all these famous spy lines.
Oh no.
Just to give him a harder time. This is the equivalent of like in improv being like, oh, hey, what's that song you always sing? You know, that unique song you wrote that you always are singing. Right? I just did that to Shaun.
Yeah, you're not yes-anding, you're yes do-it-yourselfing.
It's not yes and, it's yes, fucker. So as Shaun pulls that up, we start with the redneck weeb returns thanks to moonshine and jiggle physics. Shaun, what is their spy line with one pivotal word change?
100. First of all, I hate this list already. Because it's entitled 130 spy quotes for budding special agents. Which is unfortunate.
Oh, wait, it can't just be spy quotes, Shaun.
No. Then give me more specific to work with there.
I will.
Like they're like spy book and movie quotes, if that helps.
No, specifically, you will be doing Master of Disguise.
No, there's not enough quotes in that movie.
I'm sure there is.
One of the best jokes in the movie is a fart joke that they overdo. There is not enough in there.
I'll send you some like.
I fucking hate you, Remington.
So, but we need a Master of Disguise quote as Joey Wheeler.
I hate you with all of my passion, Rem.
The redneck weeb is patiently waiting.
Well, he's gonna keep waiting. And most of these aren't even quotes. They're like interactions. Oh god. The dialogue is even worse when you see it written
I
out.
forgot it's pistachio disguise.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Do you think pistachio is a crumb slut?
This is the worst thing you could have offered our $50 patrons.
Oh god, I love it.
This is the worst thing.
All right, so for Redneck Weep, let's hear the line you've deemed worthy of them as Joey Wheeler.
I'm just gonna tell everybody right now, none of these lines are worthy of anybody. In fact, the fact that Rem is making me do this is the most insulting thing he could ever do to you, and I expect several, like, very sternly worded emails in his direction. Let's see. I have you ever just wanted to not do something so viscerally, like, inside your bones and your body?
I'm so excited.
Because, like, I'm trying to... they're either so generic or they're so absurd that it's like, I feel nothing but rage and anger. Like, not only are you asking me to read these things, but you're also asking me to somehow change them in a way that's going to be interesting.
I'll tell you what, you can just read them as is, because I changed it to Master of Disguise.
Yeah.
They're good enough as is. I think we all agree.
They are the worst. This is the worst thing you could have done to me, Rem. And I will be hunting you down with a vengeance. Alright, here we go. Once I found an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I'll never know.
What a mystery! Alright, next we move on to Shaun. We should watch Hellsinger Bridge next week. And what line do you have for them, Shaun? Speak from the heart.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? I'm so sorry.
This is so good. Magic Ice Ball. What do you have for them?
That's the one line I'm refusing to say. It's the one line, the most quotable line. Not saying it. I refuse categorically.
You may not have a choice because you're on limited options.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it off till the end if I can help it. It's so crazy, it just might wait. There you go.
Next up we have My Dear Old Mom.
Did you ask Jeeves?
Oh,
The
God.
most dated fucking reference.
Coral Empire.
Why would I say that? Your hindquarters are hideously scrawny.
Oh, they're
sorry.
all bangers. They're all bangers. Charles C. Nussbaum.
The niceness. You are trying to horn in my action, aren't you?
Next up we got Blood Cell, not the white one.
I have come to help you, Pistachio. These are bangers of a quote, by the way.
It's a good movie. Cute. I woke up in a pool of my own blood.
That's a little relatable. I've been there. I knew it was you, you old fool. Let me appraise you. You're an idiot. A complete and total idiot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm running out of quotes. There are only insults left.
Oh, God. I mean, and one more line. Next up we have Anime Girl.
Look, Pistachios. The silly voices, the making faces. It was fun for like 1 second, okay?
Oh, no, it's attacking us.
Yeah.
And last but not least, going above and beyond, we have Dylan Hayden. Do the line, Shaun.
I refuse. I
Do
won't do that. I
the line.
fucking refuse. Oh, God, but the rest are so bad. What is... Oh,
Do the line with gusto.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. If you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter.com. Feel free to just send all the Master of Disguise references you want.
If you do, I'm gonna go shoot myself. But with that, thank you all so much for joining us. We love and appreciate you very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister. It looks kind of like Light, if you just kind of swap some of the letters around and change them a bit.
We've covered anime that have amazing, unique cum shots.
I hate you with all of my horse pussy, Ram. Hello, I am my own grandpa.
There's a bull, I guess, causing the stampede, and your fucks its ass, and then Anya comforts it.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
I'ma get that bread, I'm a cum slut, daddy.